Hey church, Pastor Gary here with This Week in Rock Hall. Hey, for those of you who got out yesterday in the cold to worship, it was a wonderful day. Thank you for coming out and singing, and for being locked in, and really I felt like that we all got a lot out of yesterday's message as we looked at Jesus' temptation and how we too can overcome temptation and break this tradition of that we inherited from our fathers and mothers, because we're human, right? So how can we break those things? We talked about yesterday that to remember always that what we feed grows, and that we can feed the Spirit in our lives. And how do we do that? We depend on the Spirit's strength. Depending on the Spirit's strength, because God's strength God is stronger than our will, right? Our willpower depletes. God's power grows in our lives as we exercise it, as we depend upon it. And then the second way that we feed the Spirit in our lives is simply to follow where God leads us, to respond when He prompts us. When He tells us to pray for someone, we pray right then. We don't make a list of to-dos to pray for them. We pray for them in that moment, and continually do that, to respond to God and to how He moves in our lives. And before we know it, we will be walking in step with the Spirit. We will be filled with the Spirit's power and guidance, and we won't worry as much about temptations. We'll be consumed with glorifying God. That's what we talked about yesterday. If you missed it, there's a full message is down below. Those are kind of the takeaways. Pray that it kind of met you where you are. This week, we're kind of gearing things back up. We have a women's small group on the prayer course for women is starting tonight at 6:30. They're doing it online and in person at our house. So I'm moving out, and for our men's group that meets upstairs in the teen center, we meet at 7:00. Men do. So then Tuesday night we have a small group that meets up at Rock Hall Church, and Wednesday. This week, Wednesday's dinner and kids, they're not gathering. I'm not sure about youth ministry. They kind of have to decide as it gets closer. But the children after school, there's no after school program and no family dinner on Wednesday. And then Thursday we have choir practices and all that kind of thing starting back up in February. So stay tuned for that. Speaking of February, February 11th and 12th, Super Bowl weekend. You can't miss that, right? Because you'll be reminded of that one. But we have a charge-wide ministry retreat where we're going to come together and talk about how we can do more together. That's kind of the theme for the time together. It's together, right? How God calls us to do more with each other than we can separate from one another. So this was part of our vision back a couple of years ago, and we really want to press into this now, especially given all that's happened in our world over the last 2 years. We really want to start pressing into how we can do more together as three churches in one charge and one community with one call, how we can live that out together. All right? So make sure you RSVP. The link's down below. RSVP, and hey, if it seems like COVID is kind of on the decline here in our area, especially here in the last couple of days. But if that changes, we'll change the date. We'll be considerate of that. But I do ask you that you RSVP to let us know you're planning to come. That way we can prepare meals and that sort of thing. It's Friday night, starting at 6:00, and Saturday, and then beginning again on Saturday morning, starting at 8. All right. Last thing. There's a link here below, but we're doing weekly reading plans. I know that a year-long reading plan kind of gets overwhelming, and once you get behind, you kind of lose steam. But so this year, we're starting a new one every week. This week's reading plan is focused on walking in the Spirit. So far, we're I guess this is the second day in it, but so just join in. Don't worry about catching up. If you want to, that's great, but just jump in and be a part of it. All right. That's all I got for this week. God bless you all. It's an honor to be your pastor, and I look forward to hearing what God is doing in your life. So let somebody know. Tell somebody, all right? God bless you all. Have a fantastic week, and we will see you soon. God bless.